Rolling.
All right. Welcome to another edition of the Roadcast.
The Roadcast.
Once again, Brad and Adam.
How's it going?
Living life on the road.
Times are busy.
Times are busy, so we've had to do this 2 podcasts in a row.
Times are busy. Wait, yeah.
I specifically remember in our last podcast, we talked about sketchy places that we've stayed.
Yeah.
We talked about the Baymont Inn incident, which I cannot believe I've told.
You did. You did.
That I went there.
You did. We've officially gone into a safe place. The Roadcast is a safe place.
So are we talking about the Schlitterbahn today?
Oh, the Schlitterbahn. Oh boy. That one's rich.
Can we talk about that?
I think
we don't have a guest.
We don't have a guest.
That's just Siri telling me that I need to exit.
Yeah, Siri's talking to us, telling us what to do.
So anyway, but you made reference to a hotel in Raton, New Mexico.
I did.
And you said the pickings are slim in Raton.
They are.
Your dad booked it.
Yeah.
The pickings are so slim in Raton, and so you had to stay at the Robin Hood.
The Robin Hood. The Robin Hood Motel.
The Robin Hood Motel. I just want to give you reference to the other establishments that are there that do not paint a beautiful picture of your father. There is a Microtel Inn and Suites by Wyndham.
Yeah.
In Raton. There is a Holiday Inn Express.
There's a Robin Hood on there?
There's a Best Western Plus. Okay.
We're still going down the list.
There is a Quality Inn.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a Travel Lodge by Wyndham. There's a Super 8.
I'd rather be in the Robin Hood than the
and
Super
then
8.
there is the Robin Hood Motel with one review, which, by the way, it has a 9 out of 10 rating with one review, and the one review simply says, awesome.
Was it done by my dad?
Let me look. That would be so great if it says H.A. Carter.
Please let it be.
Oh, gosh. That would be...
I have no idea if...
No, somebody from Kentucky. Not from Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Yeah, sorry. No, there was no...
that would have been wonderful. That would have brought it full circle.
If your dad would have been the one.
It may be on, like... It could... There's a chance that it's on, like, a different platform. Like, yeah. I think my dad's more of a TripAdvisor guy.
Okay.
So there's a chance that it could be there.
That he has left a review for.
There is a chance
for them
that it could have happened.
But that doesn't paint your dad in a great light, because you have been led to believe that there's not a lot of options.
It may have been that it was just everything else was unavailable. I can't remember.
4 years?
Well,
4 years, Adam?
After
you didn't plan for it?
Well, here's the thing. After the first year, it became a tradition.
Okay.
It was actually kind of fun, feeling like you were staying in a medieval castle in the middle of New Mexico.
Well, like I said, one person from Connecticut said that it's simply awesome.
If we're going back, so we went back this past year to New Mexico. We didn't actually stop.
Do you think they'd be interested in being a sponsor of the podcast?
This podcast has been brought to you by the Robin Hood Motel in Raton, New Mexico. Yes. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Of course not. No, we
the old Robin Hood it's a fun place.
Yeah,
it's
apparently.
Classic. It's got windows in the bathroom.
This immediately reminds me one of those murder scenes for No Country for Old Men.
Oh, it's straight out of that. It is straight out of that. 100,000,000% it is straight out of that.
Don't put it in your pocket.
Don't put it in your pocket. That's your lucky quarter.
Where's that rank for you as all time?
Oh, it's definitely a top 10 movie, just because it's just the acting, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that movie. There was another really good movie that came out that same year. So there's No Country for Old Men, and then the one that everybody was gaga over. What's the Daniel Day-Lewis movie? The one with the oil tycoon one? Where it's like... Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
No, There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. That was another
I don't
one.
think I've seen that.
It's okay. Like, everybody was, like, raving about Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie, but I just...
You weren't vibing hard on it.
It was okay. It was okay. There was some good cinematic stuff in it that I thought was nice, but that's when I was steeped in film school at that point too. So my standards were a little staunch.
Okay.
I would say quite staunch.
Okay.
At that point.
So what's your like favorite childhood vacation that you took?
Oh, I loved going to the lake.
Just buzzing up the old 10 Killer.
Oh, 10 Killer Ferry.
Okay.
Killer Ferry Lake. Now, growing up, we didn't go on like different vacations.
Okay. You
Growing
did the
up,
same thing.
We did the same thing. In the summer, we went to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day after Christmas, we would leave and go to Keystone.
You do have a great Disney story.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Tell us about your Disney experience.
Disney.
Y'all drove Gary.
Oh, Silver Gary made the cross-country trek. Rest in peace, Silver Gary.
Silver Gary.
Rest in peace, Silver Gary.
Lost in the house fire.
Lost in the house fire and now is toting around tile. Tile, full-time. Full-time tile truck.
Those seats are gone out of it.
Seats are gone. Old Silver Gary's been parted out.
Yeah.
He's full on, just never going to be fixed. He's got that permanent fire patina on him now.
Was he able to fix the headlight? Was he able to get it out?
Well, the headlight worked great. It's just
melted.
Marshmallow. Looks like that. Yeah. Holds a little water.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. A little bubbly. Oh,
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Silver Gary made the cross-country trek. We had a great time in Disney.
Okay.
My dad found it was in February.
It was the Peter Pan Inn. Got a great deal.
We're staying next to the Mazzios. Smelled like pizza all the time. No, he actually got like a house and like a gated, and they had this. So what's funny is we went to Disney World, but he rented this house and they had like a community water park, like legit lazy river, like the whole, to the nines on this water park. Kids could have cared less if we went to Disney.
Spent a fortune on it.
Kids could have cared less if we went to Disney. You know what they wanted to do?
He spent a fortune on it, right?
No, he got. Are you kidding? Do you know my father?
Yeah, Robin Hood. Yeah, I do know it.
My dad is the deal. You've heard me say this about my dad. My dad is the greasiest, luckiest guy I've ever met in my entire life. Just greasy as they can get when it comes to the deals. Like, deals find him. It's incredible. So this place that he got, I can't remember what he got. He ended up getting like this 10-bedroom house for like, I don't know, probably like $14 a night or something.
Is the microphone in your beard?
I didn't have a hat.
It's literally here in your beard.
It is in my beard.
Oh my gosh.
Is it bothering you?
No, I just noticed.
I'm just trying to make use of it.
Well, you were like, put it back on your hat again, and so I put it on my hat.
I know, but I don't have I'm just trying to the next best thing.
All right.
I should probably have listened to it before we did this. It could be just completely unusable.
It could be. I doubt it.
It's probably fine,
It's
right?
probably fine.
It's probably fine.
Anyway, your father's is greasy.
Yeah, he old greasy. That's what my mom called it. He said, you greasy, because...
You know why he's greasy?
Yeah?
Because of the gout.
The cat.
Your family.
Yeah.
Your father and your brother Austin.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Gosh, please, Lord, never let me.
Your brother, how old's Austin?
Austin's 30?
30?
30, 31?
And he's got gout.
Like severe.
It's an old man.
Like his foot looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex stomped on it.
I'm telling you, he's got to cut out the Vienna sausages.
Just less potted meats.
No potted meats. Just real high sodium intake.
Yeah. It's funny. He's like, we'll go eat like Chinese food or something. And he knows it's just stacked full of MSG and sodium and everything. And he's like sitting there, he's like, I'm going to hurt myself. He knows exactly what's going on. He's in there popping his gout pills. Yeah.
Tried to head it off.
Yeah. So yeah, my dad got this
Old
house.
Chinese. Probably eating at the old China Pearl. Yep.
Rest in peace, China Pearl.
Lake Wells, Florida.
Yeah.
Anyway, so keep going. Your dad got this great deal.
Fantastic deal on a amazing house in Florida, in this gated community, and awesome water park, lazy river. Kids wanted to go there every day. We ended up going to Disney, had a great time. First time I'd ever been. Got to go see the big show thing they put on at night, and I mean, it really is pretty magical. Like, it is super cool, because all these movies you grew up in your childhood with, and they got that giant projector that plays it on the castle and all that stuff, and so we're doing I look over at Casey, my wife, and she's like full on like weeping for joy. Which, if you know my wife, that makes complete and total sense. You're like, no, believable.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, a little emotional.
But on the second to the last day, Hurley started not feeling very good.
Okay.
Josie, which we had our birthday in Florida there, started not feeling very good.
Yeah.
Casey, not feeling good.
Oh boy.
Me, did not feel good. Did not feel good. Not good at all. So we find an AM/PM clinic there and kind of make a little trip, and I take Hurley up there, and what's crazy is we gave him some like kid Tylenol to help him just kind of like, because his head was hurting and everything else. So we gave him up there, and I brought him up there and I set him in a chair, and then while I was filling out the paperwork, I turned around and he had like completely fallen asleep, just drugged in the AM/PM clinic.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh, something's not okay. And I turn around and I'm like trying to wake him up, and he's like, ain't waking up for nothing. So like, we were doing a checkout at the doctor, and I'm like, I'm kind of worried because he's not responding. Like, he's just toasted.
I'm just thinking,
out.
Dad of the year.
Yeah, great. We murdered a son. Good. So, but the doctor's like, oh, he's fine. Total AM/PM clinic. So, he's fine. It'll wear off a little bit.
That's
so
right.
I'm like holding my
Here's
son
a Z-Pack.
I'm holding my
Take this
son
Z-Pack.
up so he can listen to his heart. His head's like flopping around. It's like, oh gosh, what are we doing here? Come to find out, all of us had flu A. And that year, flu A was horrific.
Rough.
So we drove 16 hours back from Orlando, Florida, in Silver Gary to Oklahoma City with 4 people puking all over Silver Gary.
Gosh.
With flu A.
Oh gosh.
It was wonderful. Wonderful. It really, like, I remember when we got back, Casey and I looked at each other and we were like, we hate Disney.
Yeah.
We were like, I'm never going back. But then after all that wears off, like, the fun things come back, you know. It's just
yeah, so I think just, traveling with kids, sick or not, is just exhausting.
Oh yeah.
It can be exhausting,
It's so demanding.
I think back to even moments where we just it was super my children are injury prone. On vacation.
Yeah. Really?
Oh yeah, it's like we go on vacation. So a couple years ago we went to Great Wolf Lodge, and then we're going down to San Antonio. And Kendall Jones, obviously good friend. I told her, hey, we're gonna, going to the Great Wolf Lodge, and we're gonna stay there a couple days, and then going on to San Antonio. And Kendall, who doesn't live that far from, Fort Worth, Dallas area, she didn't really make a big deal about it, but she's like, oh, when are you doing that? And I told her, and the day that I'm driving down, she calls, she's like, hey, it's like, what time are you guys going to be at the Great Wolf Lodge? And I was like, oh, I'm going to be there about 2, whatever. She showed up in the parking lot.
That sounds about, I was about to say, what point did she invite herself?
No, she just showed up. She didn't invite herself, because she invites herself on all kinds of trips. That if I'm doing something that Kendall Jones deems fun, Kendall will show up. Go to Florida to hunt alligators. Yep. Oh, hey, I'm in Florida.
Yeah, somehow I showed up.
Yeah. So she does that often with me. But anyway, came, and which was actually great, because she kind of took the older 2 kids, and they went and rode all kinds of rides together and had a blast. And so Kendall was awesome. And then we actually went out and stayed the night at one night at her ranch. And anyway, we had a great time. But at the Great Wolf Lodge, Ava, my daughter, was running, and it was like one of those deals where like just one of the big playgrounds. It's just water everywhere. She was running, and somehow running through the water. No, what it was, she turned to run, and she ran face first into a pole. I mean, smoked it with her forehead, you know. And so she, like, giant knot on her head. You know, they bring out all the medical team, you know. And so Ava has a giant knot on her forehead for the good portion of the, you know, of the trip. But we end up going to San Antonio. We're staying in a really nice place there. And I remember Sterling was taking a bath. And somehow Sterling's my 5-year-old, so he'd have been about 3, maybe. He ends up jumping off the side of the bathtub, and he's doing this like spin jump into the water, and he catches his chin on the edge of the bathtub and splits himself open. Just pouring blood. So I got to take him to a urgent care, you know, AM, PM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, super glued her shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't give him stitches, super glued him shut. And so he's the whole vacation. He's wearing like a chin strap.
Yeah, he's got the chin strap gauze
thing going on his chin. And so anyway, just these kids are incredibly stressful. Sterling, have you ever been in a situation? When was the first time you had to pee in a bottle?
Oh, I mean, I was little.
Yeah, you were little.
I mean, most of the time they just pulled us over and kicked us out and said, "Come back when you're done."
Okay.
Yeah, but
so not that long ago, going down the road, Sterling, or turnpike between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, decides he's got to pee. And the thing about little kids is it's like there's no like, hey, I feel like I need to pee. You know,
no warning.
There's no warning. It's like we're at DEFCON 5. Like, I'm about to pee my pants right now. Why didn't you say something? We've passed, like, you know, 100 different places that you could have went and peed at, but you didn't say anything.
And then on the turnpike, that's like the worst.
Right, because there's no shoulder.
You got like Stroud.
Yes.
And then Tulsa.
And we're at a place where he has to go, like, right now. And so there's no shoulder. And so I'm like, okay, Sterling, you're going to pee in a bottle. And we got a Gatorade bottle in the car. And I'm like, it's okay, you can unbuckle, stand up. And so in the van, we got 2 captain chairs, and in the back seat, there's 2 chairs. So Josiah and Sterling are in the back, Ava and Matthias are in the captain chairs. Matthias is doing his homework, sitting in the chair, right? So Sterling's behind him, and, you know, he's not paying any attention to him because he's peeing. And Sterling, I remember,
make eye contact.
Well, he's not even paying attention to him because it's behind him.
Yeah.
Well, Sterling's got his pants kind of halfway pulled down, and I keep telling him, I was like, hey, you need to pull your pants down further. Like, you don't have, not everything's fully exposed as it should, you know. And I'm trying to explain to him, take your stuff,
do what's right.
Put it inside the bottle and pee, you know. But he won't pull his pants all the way down. Well, I'm like, pull it down. But he's in such, like, he has to go so bad, and he doesn't get his pants pulled down far enough. He tries to pee in the bottle. He ends up not remaining in the bottle, okay? Comes out. Now he's peeing in the van.
Now the fire hose is
loose. And I'll never forget it coming up over the captain chair.
That's some major pressure.
Landing in the middle of Matthias' homework. So Matthias is literally sitting there with his homework in his lap, which is being covered in his little brother's urine. And he's peeing everywhere. I mean, he's peeing all over Matthias' homework. And Matthias was so mad.
Oh, God.
Just so mad about it. And, anyway.
The real question.
Yeah.
Is, did he turn it in?
You know what? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he turned it in and said, I don't know if he said anything.
I spilled some coffee.
But you know what? Matthias, you can't tell Matthias things and then expect things not to be repeated. Or twisted in such a way. All right? So, a couple years ago, Matthias was he was in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting him out of the vehicle, and I picked him up and I was carrying him, and I was wrestling, I was tickling him and stuff, and we're laughing, and I go to set him down. I had him upside down, and I'm tickling him, and I go to put him up on. I went to go put him up on the porch. He's upside down, and he's kind of hanging upside down. And he put his hands down on the porch, and I went to kind of like roll him over to set him down, and he just like lets his arms go limp, and his forehead hits the concrete, like just brushes it. And he gets a little strawberry on his forehead, like right on his forehead. He's crying. I said, "Buddy, I'm so sorry." I felt horrible, because I could have easily held him up, but I just in the moment just stupid. And anyway, didn't hold him up and let his head, touch the concrete. Well, April says to him in the moment, well, we realize there's going to be a mark.
Yeah.
And he says, or she says to him, now don't go to school and say that your dad hurt you. And I'm like, wow, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would he just say what happened? Like, it was an accident. Me and my dad were wrestling, and I bumped my head on the ground. Like, just be honest. You know what I mean?
Set yourself up for success.
Right. Like, and I was like, why would you put this in his head? And I'm like, just no, but anyway, maybe there's another conversation that went on about it behind my back. I'm not really sure. All I know is that Matthias goes to school the next day, and his teacher says, Matthias, what happened to your forehead? And his response was, I can't talk about it.
Oh no!
And the teacher says, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, my parents told me I can't talk about it."
Oh no! We're gonna have to go to the office real quick, Matthias.
Yeah. All right. And so the teacher's like, "No, Matthias, you can. This is a safe place.
This is a safe place.
You can share and tell me, and I need you to tell me." Be really honest, what happened to your head, Matthias?
Oh.
And goodness. Matthias responds by saying, well, my daddy hit me. My daddy hurt me.
My daddy hurt me.
My daddy hurt me. Ring!
Yeah.
Ring! Phone rings. The old school calling. Need a little more detail about the abuse that we are doing upon our children in my home.
Oh,
they were actually not bad. I mean, obviously they had to go through some protocol stuff, but I will never forget how frustrated I was in that moment because I'm like, "Are you kidding?" Like, if nothing was said,
it would have never.
Fine.
But he overcompensated. He overcompensated big time.
I can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it.
Oh my gosh. End up in prison. Anyway, I say this a lot, but your family is like legit awesome. Like, you guys are together all the time.
I mean, we have a legit awesome family. I've got 2 sisters and a brother, and my parents are awesome. And I mean, aunts, uncles, all of us live here in Oklahoma City. Obviously,
for the most part. Yeah.
I got a cousin, Sonny, who lives out in L.A., which we still need to have him on.
I know.
He'd be a blast.
We haven't had a guest yet
in a long time.
We're in. I know.
It's like time has not been able to catch up with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's it's just tight knit, close family, and we really do like everything together. It's awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
And then so with the fire, I don't know if I even told you this, with the house fire.
Your house burned down?
This is just getting. It's just almost. It's like it's trying to cause pain at this point. I feel like.
There was a house fire.
There was this moment in time, and I think I was on the phone with you when it literally was ablaze.
Oh, that home.
If I recall, that home. Oh gosh. Oh, man. It's dark. Yeah, no. So when the house was on fire.
You know when it's not dark? When there's a fire lighting the sky up, you can see really good.
The smoldering ashes of all the things you own and hold dear are crackling upon the broken slab of your foundation. Yeah, that was fun. Good times. Fun times, yeah.
Oh, gosh. I'm horrible. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so...
Please rescue me.
Yeah, so we were... when all this happened, when Austin was running across the meadow, he called my dad and said, "You're going to want to drop whatever you're doing and get out here. Adam's house is on fire." And my dad went, "What?" And Austin hung up. You know how long it takes to get from, like, my parents' house to out to Wellston? About how long?
No, man. From your, like, his house in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, they were literally in the driveway about to head to Fort Worth for a steak competition.
Hour 20?
You know how fast they got there?
I have no idea.
About 28 minutes.
What? Are you serious, bro?
I'm not kidding. He had to have. I don't know how fast he was going.
Well, he's a lawyer. He can get out of any speeding ticket, probably.
He had to, on the turnpike, he had to be going 120 miles an hour.
Guaranteed. 100%.
But I remember, because it all, like, added up in my head. So I was like, okay, the house started burning at, like, 11:45. Then you got here at... You were only on the road for like 30 minutes. Right. How did... He was like, we were going pretty fast.
yeah, you were.
We were going pretty fast.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, no, I forgot to tell you about that.
No.
Yeah, but no, even just then, like, so before the fire department left, like, my mom and dad were there, my brother, obviously, and my sister-in-law are there.
Mm-hmm.
Both my sisters showed up.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's there.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's just... Yeah, that's just what we are. And
yeah, you guys are incredibly tight-knit. And, the first time... It's funny how I made connections to your family even before, like, me and you were buddies, is I knew your sister, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing old Super Summer Christian Leadership Camp at Oklahoma Baptist University.
Baptist.
Green
Buffaloes.
I was a dean of the school there, of one of the schools at that camp.
Was that Yellow School?
Nah, man, it would have been like Orange School.
Orange? Yeah.
And your sister was one of the leaders in the group, so I met your sister beforehand.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'll be honest, like, I'm super jealous of is, like, and I'd say this to you a lot, like, you don't know how lucky you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you really don't. Like, yes, I still have a home. You don't.
I was waiting for
God.
it.
Where did you know?
I knew it was. Well, I almost said it, but then I thought he's probably going to say it. I should just let him have this.
Yeah.
Give it to him. Let him have it.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's so
You're
bad.
welcome.
Yeah, that was on a tee.
Yeah,
I had to swing.
Volley. You set your own spike.
I did.
That's illegal in volleyball.
Yeah, no, I did. I set that
form.
up. No, you were. I say this to you a lot though, like, because you're so blessed, because, like, your family is awesome. I'm an only child.
Yeah.
You know, broke the mold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm an only child, so, you know, what's funny is, like, your family does stuff together so often, and you know, it's one of the aspects of my family that probably is one of my biggest, like, you know, regrets, is that my family, it doesn't. Like, do you guys do family reunions?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, every weekend.
I know, like, not like that, but like extended family as well, because, like, your immediate family, y'all are together all the time.
We don't ever have any, like, real official ones, because, like, it is, like, anytime there's a birthday, anytime there's I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, I am incredibly blessed with an incredible family.
Mm-hmm.
that, and that's what. And I told you multiple times, like, well, it's pretty easy to get adopted by my family.
It's true.
There's multiple times where, like, I remember that time that we
I've seen your dad with no shirt on, just sitting in a recliner.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
we're pretty close.
Like the time that we were shooting that Kubota commercial, we had to go get that one shot, and we took the tractor over to my parents' house, and he was like, hey, I need my lawn tilled up. I'm about to get a bunch of grass sod put down. Might as well bring it over here and do that. And I remember there was a moment, and I don't think I've ever told you this, But there was a moment we were all sitting in the back, and we were all just kind of shooting the breeze. And we were all sitting around talking. And my whole family was there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I remember looking over at you, and you were just sitting on like a bench, and you were just sitting there, and you had the biggest smile.
I just soaked it in.
And you were
dude.
just like,
oh, it's beautiful.
and I could tell, I was like, this is good for his soul right now.
It is, man. It was so good. Like watching your family just function dysfunctionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, kids are running around. It's just, it was chaos in the midst of it, but it was beautiful. And I just sat and watched your family just interact with one another. And it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Because, like, man, unfortunately for me, like, we're not a big family. I don't have a big family. My mom's side of the family does do a family reunion, the Welch family. And they do family reunion stuff. And so, it's one of those things, like, we need to make sure, like, I need to make sure, like, I'm involved in that. My kids are involved in that, so they see that and kind of know some of their extended family, because they do them all over the place. And so, but, for me, like, unfortunately, I don't have a parent. I'm an orphan at this point in life. I've lost my dad when I was a little boy, 6 years old. My mom died a year ago. And then my stepdad died, 5 or 6 years ago. So, I'm kind of orphaned in that. And so I don't want you to, I know I say that to you a lot, but, like, you truly are blessed by.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that I do not take for granted.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. And
yeah, that's awesome, man.
I know what I have, mainly just because I see your pain, and then I remember how awesome what I have is.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Brad, your family sucks, man. Mine, rock star. Yours, just garbage. No, I mean, I have it like my grandma, like we do like Thanksgiving and, things like that. But, like, we don't do a great job of, like, making time. And then part of that is, like, we don't live close to my family. My family is Western Oklahoma. Middle of nowhere. Rayton, Oklahoma out there, where I have my aunt and uncle and my cousin Ryan and my cousin Jennifer's in Wheeler, Texas. Like, I'm not close, like, it's 3 hours, from them. And so we're just not as close. And, you guys are close to one another and, see one another a lot.
Yeah. But one of the cool things that I see, is, like, as far as your extended family goes, like, there's distance there. And like you said, most of your parents have all moved on. They're all with the Lord now. But at the same time, you've got 4 kids. And it's almost like this legacy that gets to kind of start with you. And it kind of gets to begin with you. And there's a lot of really cool things that are going to... Because what I have now is literally what you have currently, but you are just a few years past removed from what I'm sitting in right now with all of my brothers and sisters, my parents, all that kind of stuff that's going on. Like, you kind of, like, are the beginning of this family.
Yeah, no, my kids, like, and I want my kids to experience what you experience now. When we go to Red River, we stay at the Red Robin Inn. Or not Red Robin.
The Robin Hood
The
Motel.
Robin Hood. The Red Robin Inn would be excellent. Bottomless fries.
Bottomless fries. It's like, what was your vacation? I ate 1,900 potatoes.
We just pounded potatoes. The Robin Hood. I'll try to do maybe do a little bit nicer than that. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, that's where adventure's made.
Yeah.
There's gotta, as I've tried to demonstrate to you on multiple occasions, that a little sketch has to be involved with things.
Right now we're going by Frontier City.
Speaking of sketch.
Speaking of sketchy, Frontier City, the old amusement park.
How many people have been stuck upside down on the Wildcat roller coaster at this point?
Oh, the Silver Bullet.
The Silver Bullet.
No, it's the Silver Bullet.
That is a death trap.
Oh, stop.
It's a death trap.
No one's died since 94, 95 on that thing. Get over yourself, come on. Get over yourself.
Gosh.
You're just completely overreacting to that. Total change of direction. for me. But coming back from Frontier City in 4th grade in the back of a, remember the old conversion vans?
Yes.
Right? Had the bucket
Yeah.
seats, real nice.
Yeah.
Back seat would lay down flat.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
I had my first kiss.
First kiss coming back from Frontier City.
In 4th grade.
4th grade.
Yeah. Yep. Kaylin Owen.
There you go. Call it out. Name it.
Calling her out.
Naming it.
Oh, Kaylin. Yep. First
Naming
kiss. First gift. Kaylin was a year older than me, and we'd spent the day, a group of us from Raiden, and you could pretty much fit the entire elementary school in a conversion van from Raiden, and so apparently we all went.
Yeah.
But on the way back,
Every grade level.
Yeah, I got my first kiss at the Frontier.
Yeah.
Coming back from Frontier City.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was going.
Yeah.
Totally kind of derailed. Speaking of family, here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we roll. No, but you really are. You guys are super blessed to have the family that you have, and I'm just kind of, I don't know, I've kind of always been jealous of it. And it's funny you brought that up, that you saw me, like you witnessed me observing your family from a distance.
Yeah.
And you made a comment about it. That's kind of interesting that you did that, because it was something like really stuck out to
I
me.
will remember that moment for the rest of my life, and here's the thing, it's not only been you, and it's been multiple people in my life, that, like, my mom is a mom to almost all of my friends.
Yeah.
And she really is.
Right.
And my friends always, they came to our house, and you know, we played at our house. Like, I lived in an awesome neighborhood growing up where we had just, you know, all of my friends lived there. It's
Yeah.
But that's what happened. And the thing is, like, our family, I feel like the thing that people are the most attracted to is that, like, the most important aspect of our family is the Lord. It centers around faith. It is the, you know, the principles that, like, what Final Descent is, what we want it to be about. It's faith, family, and hunting. Like, it's faith, family, and the things that make your faith and your family flourish.
Right.
Like, so it's whatever those things are. But that being a central thing, I really believe that, like, that's that intoxicating element that people see and they're like, I want what they're having.
And you think that's because so much of the family structure in our country is broken.
Oh, it's crumbling.
That people are drawn to that because there's so much jacked up home stuff.
Yeah. And there's I can't tell you how many times that I've told people, like, well, we're going on a family vacation, and 99% of the time, you know what the response is? It's like, oh, have fun with that. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is going to be a lot of fun. You guys don't do that?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the flu A.
the flu A was a blessing.
Yeah, but even like you talking about staying at the at the Robin Hood.
Yeah.
But you like, it's a tradition. It's fun.
Well, no, now it's like, you know,
it's become iconic.
It is iconic. Like, I cannot, if I go to Raton, like, if you and I ever have to drive through New Mexico, there's no question where we're staying. We are going to stay at the.
Well, if we're in Indy, we're not staying at the Baymont.
No.
Okay. So
we're gonna check.
It may be iconic,
but
doesn't mean
infamous is a good word. Infamous.
That's a good word. Yeah, that's infamous. A good word. Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah. No, but I agree with what you said. Like, I feel like the family is under attack in our culture. It's under attack in our country from every side.
Well, so I'll say this. The beauty of that, maybe you're listening to this or watching this, and you're thinking, like, man, my family is jacked up. Like, maybe there's been abuse, divorce, hurts, pains, you know, because there's imperfect people, you know. And if that stuff's happened to you, man, I'm sorry. Like, I hate that. Like, you know, I didn't have a great childhood in a lot of ways. You know, there was stuff that was robbed of me, you know. And I became an adult early due to some circumstantial things, you know. I mean, I just had to grow up. and not that there wasn't great aspects of my childhood, that it was like this doom and gloom or whatever, but one of the things that you kind of shared that I think is really important, and for somebody that maybe is listening to this, is that your past doesn't dictate your future.
No, it does not.
Your past experiences and what you grew up in does not affect the outcome of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It may make it an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
It might make it a little bit tougher, but you still have a choice to be who you want to be and what your family looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice that you make. And so your past doesn't dictate your future. You have an opportunity to decide, I want to be different
Mm-hmm.
than what I grew up in. And I feel like for me, in a lot of ways, that is the case. And you talked about, like, you know, I'm an only child. I got 4 kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a clue, dude. Like, I didn't grow up with, you know what I mean? I didn't grow up with siblings.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite toy was as a kid? A Velveeta box and a locust. I remember catching a locust, putting it in a Velveeta box, and I started beating around in there.
Yeah.
Like, I played by myself. Like, I had
Yeah.
to create things, you know, and I don't know. It's just different. But like, I want to create similarities to what your family has with my kids. Like, I want that. I want my kids to be able to experience and have the come back to. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Grandpa Brad.
Oh, Pop Brad.
No, Pop Brad. You know, like, just to be those things and to create a structure of normality. You know what I mean? Like, I'll Clark Griswold it up, man. Like, you know, like, it's family first. Like, listen, if there's enough left over, I'm gonna fly all y'all out to come and help us break this pool in. You know, I mean, just being that's what's important. And I feel like in our culture we've lost that in a lot of ways. And so I feel like your family and what you have, sadly, is not the normality anymore.
No, it's like I said, like, I do not take it for granted, and I know that it's something that is super, super rare today. The coolest thing that I think about, because, you know, I think people look on from the outside looking in, they see our family and they see how really awesome it is. But at the same time, like, our walk has not, especially the past few years, has been rocky. It's been really rocky. But it goes back to that central item that our family's built around. And that always holds everything together. And being that we all can rally around Christ no matter what the circumstances are, draws you closer and closer. It's that analogy that I used to use, or heard once in me and Casey's marriage counseling, and I've told other married couples this throughout the past 10 years since I've heard it, which is like chasing Jesus with your wife. You both are running up this pyramid, and the closer you get to Christ, the closer you get to each other. And I think that's central in any relationship. I mean, the closer that you and I get to Christ, the closer that we get to each other. I think that's central in everything, and it's even more so in the family. When everybody's running to the pinnacle, you get closer and closer as you get to the top. And I think that's the most important aspect, that when people are like, what I want in my family is I want this. It's like, well, how are you chasing Christ as a family? Because if you do that, everything else is going to start to fall into place. And it doesn't mean it's a sunshines and rainbows, but it also means that in the hardest of times, you can come through the fire.
Figuratively and literally. But like, that was the rally point. Just like you talking about how fast your dad got there. Your brother got there. I called your brother immediately. You know, when you hung up, I mean, obviously the first call I made was your brother, who's 100 yards away, because I knew you needed help. You know, and he was there, you know, going in the house with you, grabbing stuff. I mean, and it's just the tight-knitness of your family, but, you know, with the foundation of that being the Lord. And what a great picture and an illustration of saying, hey, as our relationships, as we run closer to the Lord, we grow closer together too. And anyway, you know, I think as we kind of wrap up today's Roadcast, literally because we're at your pickup.
We've arrived.
We've arrived at our location. I think today, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, my family kind of sucks. or I grew up in this horrible circumstance. I want to really encourage you with what I said before, is that your past doesn't dictate your future. You know, it doesn't have to dictate your future. Like, you have a choice in what you want it to look like.
I heard a long time ago, I heard a pastor talking about something that stuck with me since the beginning, and this is, aspects in my life that I want to be this as well. But like, we all have the opportunity to take the hurts that are in our past and be a trailblazer for the newness. He talked about people that would blaze the trail to set it for the people, because that's the whole point of a trailblazer, is you're setting a path for the people that are coming behind you.
For sure.
And that's what we have to be doing in everything, with our families, with our work, with all that stuff. And family is one of the hardest places to do it, because there ain't nobody that knows your doo-doo better than your family.
That's right. Especially when you've got a family full of gout people. That doo-doo can be rough. You know what I mean?
A lot of constipation.
A lot of suffrage, with the gout. Oh gosh, your poor family.
We're gonna have to have Austin on at some point so he can defend himself. He just sticks his foot up and oh my god!
People get to see this inflamed foot, inflamed gout foot. Anyway, Adam, you did recently make an incredible post, and I know we'll reference that for people to see it, but people can find you on the old YouTube.
We're getting back into the YouTubes.
Right,
It's Hurley Films, HearlyFilms.
Yes, sir.
And posting there. Everything else is hit or miss.
Hit or miss, yeah.
I have been trying to post like some positive stuff.
Oh, you have.
On Facebook,
it's been really great. It's been very encouraging.
That builds up in my quiet times.
Yeah,
or,
But that's on personal page.
Yeah, stuff like
but
that.
you can follow Full Strut Media.
Yeah.
Our media realm of things. Instagram, your Hurley Films.
Final Descent Outdoors is a great place too.
Yes, please give Final Descent Outdoors a follow on social media.
FD Outdoors.
FD Outdoors.
FD Outdoors.
Yeah.
FD Outdoors.
And then, or Final Descent Outdoors on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then if you're listening to this on...
leave us a review, because it helps us immensely get the word
grow.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
We're trying to grow the old cast.
The old
Roadcast and the podcast.
And the podcast.
That's right. So if we can be encouraging, maybe even just today you're listening to this and you feel like, man, I just need some prayer, about being the leader in my home, making sure things are being done right, or man, I had a rough childhood and this stirred up some things in my life, and I could just use some prayer about moving on from or letting go of. Yeah, and you can go to finaldescentoutdoors.com. You can send us an email, go to the contact us. And me or Dave Coffey, our staff pastor, one of us will reach out to you and pray for you. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to the old Roadcast.
Second Roadcast we've ever done.
Yep, maybe the last one.
Yeah. Let us know if you hate this. That way we won't have to clip mics and if
you do hate it, still give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. God bless you.
It was a good one.
It was good. That's an inside joke. We'll have to talk about sometime.